Okay, Nick and Andy, huge game coming up in London this weekend. Massive London derby. Chelsea against Arsenal at Stamford Bridge. Delighted to say I'll be there for Pro Soccer Talk with analysis, videos, reaction. You name it, we'll have it covered. Nick, quite simply, is this the two favourites for the Premier League title colliding at the Bridge this weekend? Your thoughts?
Two of them.
Okay,
I've made a point a few times. I won't get into it. I think Man City's right there. But yeah, this is a massive game because if Arsenal win, it's going to be a long time before anyone else gets to say that they're a favorite as well. I look at this Arsenal team and I see what they did and what Arteta did. And granted, maybe it was just some wonderful plays. And we saw that there was some real creativity from Declan Rice was wonderful against Spurs. But they are doing all of this without Odegaard, without Madueke, who just came back and came off the bench. Martinelli was hurt for a little bit. They don't have a center forward. And in theory, Gyökeres and Jesus will be back. And you may argue about, besides Odegaard, those players and what their ceilings are. Are they elite player? But guess what? They're better than what they have. And in a functional team, they're going to punch the ball home. So I think we've seen Arsenal get to this point. I don't want to say without an attack because they've got great depth, but they shouldn't be beating Spurs. Sorry, Andy. They shouldn't be beating Spurs 4-1 with players they were missing.
Yeah, it's been hugely impressive from Arsenal so far this season. Only 6 points clear of Chelsea heading into this weekend. But Chelsea deserve huge credit, right? I mean, obviously they've had injuries. Cole Palmer, the most notable, being out for most of the season so far. Red card issues, a few slip-ups here and there, but they've got that huge squad. I think Maresca's done a really good job at rotating it. And I also think that, mentioned this before, he's found a way, like a hybrid way of playing differently in certain situations. And it's almost automatic for these Chelsea players now to possess the ball during certain moments of games and be comfortable doing that and rotate positions and right backs to midfield, midfielders to forward, all the rest of it. But then they can also just sit back and hit teams on the counter as well with all the great attacking players and wingers they have to rotate in and out. So is that constant rotation keeping things very fresh for Chelsea and keeping everyone involved? And it seems to be working out really well for them at the moment. And it's probably one of the reasons why many people would say, hey, they can hang with Arsenal and be in this title race this season.
Yeah, I do think it's keeping them fresh and sharp. I also think it's making them incredibly difficult to prepare for. And a coach like Arteta, who is so, Pep-like in the focus and the detail and our number one objective is to not let them play their game and then we'll play our game kind of mentality. How do you prepare for that going into this weekend, especially when you've got Champions League midweek in between as well? Obviously, Chelsea do too, but the amount of time that you don't get to prepare for them, I think makes actually Chelsea a very, very dangerous matchup to Arsenal in this one because aside from the game against Sunderland, really, we've not seen them, pushed and tested too much. They've been in control of games for the most part and then eventually gotten the goals that they needed. But I think Chelsea are going to really give them a run in this one for that fact there. And also Chelsea, one of the just, paciest, most athletic, explosive type of teams in the league, the way that they can attack open space, if they get one or two opportunities in those moments against Arsenal, it does feel like more so than maybe any other team in the league besides Erling Haaland FC that they could make them pay. And so, yeah, I'm very intrigued by this one. I'll say that.
Yeah, really unpredictable, I think, Nick. When Arsenal have been so great, and this is an opportunity to go 9 points clear of Chelsea, who could be their closest rivals. So almost champions-elect status at that point, still early in the season. But this is a chance for Arsenal to really double down, right, and make a statement in a big week for them with the North London derby, Bayern Munich, and then Chelsea. They're going to win something and win the league this season. This is the kind of game I need to go out and really put in a big performance to get a big win. And the way Eze played and got that hat-trick against Spurs and the way, like you mentioned, they've been missing all these key players, but others have been stepping up. We're filling me with a lot of confidence. I'm an Arsenal fan going into this game because the squad is so deep, and congrats to Berta and all the others who've been building that squad because they've done a brilliant job and essentially just getting two players for every position. And they've needed that in the opening months of the season. So whether that catches up with them early in the new year. We'll wait and see. But in theory, with these players coming back now, it should be full steam ahead for Arsenal.
They just keep passing tests. I mean, last week I told you all the variables for the reason that Spurs may have been able to take a result or at least a strong performance out there, and Arsenal dismantled them at times for most of the game. And you can say what you will about what happened in that game, but the only question for me is how do they handle the rotation? Because we've credited Mikel Arteta with rotation, and I think that's fair, but so much of that has been forced. So now what does it look like? And now the guys, let's say some of these attackers who we only saw for a few minutes or didn't see and weren't ready for Spurs, how do they handle a full week and midweek stuff? And how fresh are they for the Chelsea game? So I begrudgingly say that Arsenal again may have a slight disadvantage, especially with Chelsea home to Barcelona and just waiting for Arsenal to come hang out.
Yeah, it's going to be so interesting. And I think just when I think about this Arsenal team and the players that have been out, it
So
really
good.
does. Yeah, it's quite scary, to be honest, the way that they've handled their business so far. So,
And how about Piero coming in for instead of Mosquera? Like,
yeah.
I mean, Arteta's doing some impressive things and they're working. It's a sign of
working great. And I think the key battle I'm looking forward to in this one, Andy, is Saka against Cucurella down that flank. I think that will be. There's great individual scraps all over the pitch in the midfield as well. And we look at Declan Rice and Zubimendi and how key they are to Arsenal. And then going up against Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez. I think that's key to this game, right? If Chelsea want to get any kind of control and stop the ball getting to Saka or whoever's playing up top, of it is Moreno dropping deeper and Eza buzzing around, Trossard doing his thing, then those guys in midfield there have got to play well, haven't they? And especially the fullbacks too.
Yeah, I actually think Liam Delap is very important to Chelsea right now because of where it allows João Pedro to play. Because when he was playing up top, it was, and to his credit, he's not really a number 9. He's somewhere between a 9 and a 10. He was dropping in a ton, and there was no focal point of that attack. They were creating chances, and then there was no one there, and they weren't getting put away. And so I think being able to let him drop in there and play in that spot of the field, it is, I think, a credit to Maresca as well that that certain pieces in the team and the setup are pretty interchangeable. And as long as you have a natural center forward who's going to hold the ball up a little bit and offer some physicality, you're going to get the best out of maybe your best attacking player in João Pedro. It doesn't have to be a superstar in that position, and just getting him back from the injury, I think, makes Chelsea, it gives them a second way of scoring rather than just on the counterattack. They can break you down even if you're set up defensively, and we know Arsenal will be for the most part.
Yeah, and like off the bench, they are going to have options, whether it be Gittins, Garnacho. Oh yeah, Esteval comes on and probably scores and assists again, just like he has been doing. So yeah, so many great attacking options and so many great players on show in this game. Nick, score prediction wise, what are you going for, mate?
1-1. 1-1 at the Bridge. I'm not sure that Arsenal has the fitness to, and this week is insane. Like no team should have to deal with this week. Spurs, Bayern, Chelsea. So I'll go 1-1.
For both teams, it's going to be tough, right, Andy? What do you think?
Yeah, I was very close to 1-1. I'll say 2-1 to Arsenal, though.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to go 2-1 Chelsea. I don't know why. I just got a feeling. I think this season I've been there a few times, and there's something special growing there. And maybe I'm just rooting for chaos and the title race to get closer, but I can see it happening. It's going to be really close. And I think as well as Arsenal played last weekend, the Sunderland game before that still in my memory. And I think Chelsea are a little bit chaotic and hard to predict and plan for. And I think that will make this game a really good one at the Bridge. All right, head over to Pro Soccer Talk on NBCSports.com for all the latest on this game. I'll be there at Stamford Bridge, delighted to say that. So really going to enjoy that one. Nick and Andy, really enjoyed your company today. Thanks so much for joining me. Thanks to everyone for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Cheers.
Hi there, I'm Rebecca Lowe, studio host of NBC's coverage of the Premier League. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch more videos all season long. And for even more Premier League content, from original series to live matches, head over to Peacock.